I used to drink literally anything. During the month, it would lead to bloating, period cramps, acne, and just a whole lot of PMS symptoms until I started learning about the power of these herbal drinks, learning from my TCM doctor and just testing it out myself. Now there's no cramps and I need to share them all with you because they're super easy to make. Our period is also known as our menstrual cycle. Every week, our hormones will be at a different place. And there's two main hormones that dictate how we feel, what we eat, how sleepy we are, and all the PMS symptoms. And that's estrogen and progesterone. The very first week, which is known as the bleed or menstruation, is the first phase. And then the second phase is called follicular, and this is when the estrogen starts to increase. And then we'll have ovulation. So ovulation is anywhere between day 12 to 16. And then we'll go into the last phase, which is luteal. So luteal is when progesterone increases and estrogen drops. Because there's two different hormones dictating our moods and appetite and how we feel, that's why every single week we feel something different and our bodies need to be nurtured differently. So that's how these drinks really fits into our menstrual cycle. All of these are caffeine free. So I actually typically drink these all at night when I'm winding down, I'm soothing my stomach and preparing for sleep because I feel like that's the best time to drink it. But you can have it at any time. So let's dive into our first drink. Depending on each person, their period can run from 3 to 4 days all the way up to 7 or 8 days. What happens during that week is obviously we're losing a lot of blood, our uterus is shedding and pushing out the uterine lining. And something that I've noticed for me is that I will look a little more pale, like my lips and my skin tone will actually be a little more like ashy because actually the body is directing all its resources to the uterus area. And then in terms of hormone levels, both our estrogen and our progesterone have all of a sudden both gone down. So that's also why it leaves us feeling very kind of like tired, fatigued. So that's where this drink can really help to invigorate the blood and warm the uterus and the, womb area, as well as calm our spirit. 3 main ingredients, 4 including a sweetener, but first we have jujube dates. So jujube dates is really popular in all TCM drinks because it really helps to support, nurture, and replenish blood circulation. It helps warm our body. It's a warming ingredient and helps to kind of like re-energize, especially because we're fighting fatigue, right? Then we have rosebuds. I have these little rosebud petals. It smells so good, and rose is actually going to be used in every single one of these drinks because it's so calming, nourishing, and also really hydrating. I also have rose in like the full rose petal. This is from the Chi, and she's beautiful. When you put it in hot water, it just like blooms. But this one is more user-friendly. Yeah, you can get these anywhere online. We'll leave the links all below. A staple for beautiful skin and also emotion, to regulate emotion. And then, of course, we have ginger. Ginger is the most important ingredient during this week because it's heating and it's warming, and that's essentially what we need. We want to replenish that warmth, keep the warmth in our body, but also for digestion. Sometimes you're like bloated and you don't feel like eating, you don't even know if you're hungry because it's just like so much going on down there. Ginger will really help with that, especially drinking this after a meal. And then we have brown sugar. Brown sugar is also the go-to kind of sweetener in a lot of TCM drinks because it's warming as well. You can also use rock sugar if you have it, but brown sugar and ginger, even if you just have those two, are like that's all you need. For this one, really simple. You can either just steep it in a teapot, but I like to actually boil it because the ginger and the jujube date needs a little bit of time for the flavors and the aromas to come out to make a really like tasty tea. So what I do is cut the jujube in half. If you have a pit, take out the pit because it's a little bit too heating. And a little tip, I prefer to buy the jujube date whole because it keeps it fresh rather than the ones that are already halved and pitted because they tend to be more dry. I'm going to keep the rose till like the last 5 minutes because I don't want this to overboil. Brown sugar, just a bit, because you can always add more sugar to taste later, and I don't want it overly sweet. So that will just cook away for about 5-10 minutes. Add around 5 to 7 rose buds and then take it off the stove, and then that's where I kind of steep everything together, and you can let it sit for another like 5-10 minutes. Honestly, the longer you steep it, the more flavorful it will be. Anytime you have like cramps or bloating or just any sort of like stomach issue while you're on your period, if you make this, I promise you that will instantly like subside and just dissipate. It is so good. But I also want to tell you, this jujube, ginger, and like rose combination, you don't only have to drink it when you're on your period. It's just because it's very warming. But the ginger is great for any time that you have like indigestion or like a stomach ache or like you ate too much after dinner. So ginger is actually a really good after dinner drink. So you can actually have this anytime. So yeah, don't think of it as like it's only a like week 1 period drink. You can actually drink this at any time that you need a little boost of like warmth and circulation. On to the second phase, which is known as follicular. So that's pretty much from the day that your period ends up until the day that you ovulate. During this time, our estrogen goes from like really low and it starts rising again. And our uterus lining starts to build again. So estrogen is also helping the uterus rebuild that wall. So there's still a lot going on. And when estrogen rises, our dopamine as well as serotonin, which is the hormones that help to govern our moods and our energy levels, starts to increase. And that's why within the second week, normally, we'll start to feel like more ourselves, like our skin will recover, we won't feel as fatigued and tired, we won't feel as bloated, and we start to kind of recover. This week, we're going to have a drink with the rosebuds again and something called hawthorn berry. And starting with the hawthorn is something that I think all Asian children would have grown up with. It's called shanjia. There's candy made with this, like I smell it and it just brings back childhood. It's a little bit tart, it's a little bit sour, but also sweet. It's like a berry, but it's cut up into slices like this. There's 2 main benefits of having hawthorn during this time. And the first is that it helps to clear blood stasis. So actually sometimes our uterus walls, we haven't pushed out everything entirely. And so it leaves clots. You know, we get clots in our period towards the end. Hawthorn will help to kind of regulate the flow, to push everything out. But it also helps with food stagnation. So anything to do with digestion or indigestion, hawthorn is really good for that as well. And then goji berries. Like we all know goji berries are almost like an antioxidant superfood. It's neutral in quality, so it's really good for any kind of body constitution, but it's very hydrating. And fun fact, it's also really good at hydrating the eyes. It's good for hydrating the body, but also our eyes. And it pairs really well with many other ingredients, which is why we see it in so many different teas. And then of course, the calming rose petal as well. It's the foundation of all these drinks. So these all together are perfect for the second week. So we have our hawthorn, rose, goji. With goji, you also want to maybe like rinse it before adding it in. Filling this up, you can smell the hawthorn. It has such a unique, distinct, kind of like almost sour, like citrusy smell. So good. Oh my goodness. I wish you could smell this. Just cover it again for about 5-10 minutes and it's ready to drink. Gonna lift up this. Oh my gosh, guys. This might not look like much, but it is so flavorful. The hawthorn is like striking the flavor. It's like a little sour, a little sweet, so flavorful. If you wanted sugar, I would say actually a little piece of rock sugar pairs best with it. One thing I forgot to mention is that you can actually eat the hawthorn and also eat the jujube from the first drink. So after you've steeped it, like you can eat it and you can literally taste the full flavor. That one's sour. That's sour. All right, so we've made it to our third phase, and ovulation is when, the egg comes out of the ovaries through the fallopian tubes and down towards the uterus. And we'll see in the chart that this is when estrogen literally shoots up. And the reason why it shoots up is actually to help release our egg. So after it shoots up, it goes instantly back down. And this is kind of the midpoint of our cycle. During this time, progesterone also peaks a little bit, but not as high. So all in all, there's this huge surge of hormones. We'll feel still really good, confident, but you might experience a little bit of back pain or a little bit of acne. So it really depends on each person. But during this time, we have another drink, and that includes an ingredient called mulberry. So if you guys have watched my collagen drink, you'll know what mulberry is, because this is that fantastic little fruit that turns the whole drink almost purplish reddish. And mulberry has been used for thousands of years, once again, in TCM drinks because it nourishes the blood. So actually, if you're ever thinking, oh, is this good for my blood, for circulation? Easy hack in TCM is that if the food or ingredient is red or black in color, normally that is good for blood nourishment. And the mulberry is also cooling in nature, so it helps to calm down the body. If you're overheated, it's a great ingredient, and it makes the tea slightly sweet, naturally. And then paired with goji berry and the rose petals, perfect little concoction for our third week hormonal shift. If you have one of these little tea strainers, you can use these as well. And you can just plop them all in. I have around 5 to 7 mulberries, 5 to 7 rose petals, and then 5 to 7 little goji berries as well. Goes in there. I'm gonna put a few pieces of rock sugar. So good. It's actually less sweet than normal sugar and so subtle. So it's the perfect thing for these herbal teas. And then I want to show you, with mulberry, it will literally turn the tea into this beautiful kind of purple reddish color. Oh my gosh, can you see that? So just after 5-ish minutes, you can see the tea has completely changed to a deep berry color, and that's the mulberry. So I'm gonna pour it out. This one is the most sweet and aromatic one of all of them. So we've gone from the spicy ginger to the sour hawthorn and then the sweet mulberry. This is so good. I think it pairs perfectly with the crazy fluctuations of hormones that we feel in the third week. So now we're in week 4. It is the week before day 1 of our menstrual cycle. The most tumultuous, the most, infamous for PMS, because everything hurts, everything sucks. All our emotions are everywhere, and this is called the luteal phase. And why all these symptoms that we know as PMS happens is because estrogen pretty much goes all the way down and progesterone peaks, it rises. And because, our progesterone and estrogen are always kind of balancing each other out, when one is super high and the other is super low, we will feel the ramifications. And one of those are things like mood swings, bloating, fatigue, and something that I know very well, acne, especially hormonal cystic acne. And it's hormonal because of the rise in progesterone. So for this week, we have a very special concoction, starting with the rosebuds, the calming, soothing rosebuds, but we also have tangerine peel and longyan. Starting off with tangerine peel. If you came from a Chinese household, I'm sure your parents or grandparents would have always had these sitting on the windowsill, literally drying it themselves. My grandma used to always keep the mandarin peels and put them on the windowsill and let them dry under the sun. It's especially good for anything to do with the stomach area. So indigestion, gassiness, bloating, it just helps to soothe all of that kind of region. And then my favorite, which is the longyan. It kind of looks like a really small brown smooth lychee, like the flesh is like a small lychee. So it's very sweet, it's warming in nature, and that's why you'll also see it in a lot of teas and soups. Like in the chicken soup, it is used for so many different things. In TCM, it's often put into drinks to help soothe stress, anxiety. It's also great for hydration. It's also a great nightcap. You know, all of these are great for nighttime because, especially for me, like the week before my period, I lose my mind. Like I have all these thoughts. I don't know why I feel so down, but all of that has to do with the spike in progesterone, and this will really soothe you and prepare your uterus for the next period. For this one, because it's a tangerine peel and the longyan, I like to put it in the saucepan to really cook and boil it through because it needs a little longer. And for sweetener, I find that honey works really well with the tangerine peel. So the cool thing is, like, each of these drinks have very unique highlighted ingredients for each week, so it's kind of cool. As soon as you put in the tangerine peel, you can actually see the tea kind of like water turn orange, and I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to leave the delicate rosebud petals till the very end. So I'm just going to like bring this up to boil, bring it down to like a simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes, really like kind of extract the flavors from the peel, and then we can pour it out. You can buy like all different types of tangerine. There's these ones, which is the one I just used, and they've already been kind of cut into little strips, but you can also find these huge whole orange peels. You can use them like whole or cut, but it's easier to kind of cut them in smaller pieces. You can also eat the longyan. I wouldn't eat the tangerine peel because it's a little bit bitter. Then we're adding some honey. Don't make it too sweet because you kind of want to taste the natural flavor of it, but adding just a little bit is great. With tangerine peel also, if you have like phlegm stuck in your nasal passageway or just like a cough, the tangerine peel is also really well known to help with that. It's more about learning what your body feels, how you feel, and how to match an ingredient to help support that. And there we have our 4 teas for the 4 weeks of our menstrual cycle. Each of them tastes so good. And I also want to just mention, like, you don't have to think of these as like rules for each week. It's not like you can only have this on week 1 and only have this on week 4. What TCM is all about is actually reading our own signs, emotions, and bodies and pairing it with the right ingredients to help us balance. But these are just general guidelines that you can follow because they're all super delicious. So I hope you guys try them out. If you have any questions, leave them below. And here's to more inner beauty. Give it a like if you enjoyed.
Baby, you know, this is the perfect angle to check out my arms.
Only you would think of that.